Hello everybody, welcome to Ratchet Clank Future Quest for Booty. I've heard this is about a 3-hour long game, give or take, so I'll do about an hour-ish today. I've seen that some people have finished this in 5 parts, that's 30 minutes, so I'm kind of guessing it on that. So about an hour to an hour and a half we'll do here. Interesting menu. Very, very light on the menu here. Okay. I believe this is still using the same engine and everything as Tools for Destruction. Tools of Destruction. But let's find out. There is no save data. Of course there's not. Wow, we have difficulty? Was there difficulty for the previous game? Anyway, we finished Tools of Destruction earlier this week, and this is, of course, its follow-up. Again on the PS3, and yesterday I finished Infamous 1. It's been a busy week. But let's jump in and see what happens after that fairly interesting ending to the first.
Once upon a time, there was a fearless young Lombax who gained fame and fortune by ridding the galaxy of Emperor Percival Tachyon and Captain Romulus Slag.
What a cheap shot, I tell ye! Somebody unplugged me controller!
But just as peace was restored to Polaris, his first
They're
mate was
recapping the end.
kidnapped by creatures known only as the Zoni. Using a powerful computer called Iris, he finally located a clue. An old pirate captain who may possess the key to the Zoni dimension. A pirate named Darkwater.
So here we are. I think the game already looks a little better.
This is it, Talon. Darkwater has to be here somewhere.
Be careful, Ratchet. Murdergra is an unregulated planet. Unwanted visitors have a bad habit of disappearing from here.
Alas, poor Captain. No one misses you but me.
Oh, he's back.
I miss you too, Rusty Pete. You may not have me body, but you'll always have me heart.
Oh, poor Pete.
The crew hates me, Captain. They don't hate you, Pete. They just don't understand ye. Why, you're my top first mate, you are.
Guys, I'm not looking for any trouble.
Huh.
Wait. We're just here to find a pirate. Captain Engstrom.
The voices are out of sync.
Darkwater, you hear that, lads? This mangy stowaway seeks the ear of a dead man. How's about we arrange a proper
I mean, that cutscene definitely seemed out of sync to me.
Well, that could have gone better.
But we're not out of sync in game, we're in sync. Because we're into sync and we're trying to keep the frame rate really high. And we're starting the series off with a song. Right, let's figure out what we got. Oh, we've got like everything. Things have a little bit more information. Wow, they're giving us like a bunch of items, but we don't seem to have different pages, so it doesn't look like we can buy items in this. But we have nano swarmers, which is like my favorite item. We just have a normal combustor again. Okay. We got fusion grenades, tornado launchers. So we haven't kept any of our upgrades from the previous game. It looks like we might have some of our gadgets though. Seems about it. Okay. What did I just do? What? I just threw a nano swarmer now. Okay. Go nano swarmer! So I today have been porting, well, I've been trying to port a model from 3ds Max into the Source engine. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm using the Source engine to create artwork and such, and I'm trying to use it also to do animations. Oh my god, we only have 10 health. And it's tricky because I've never done anything for the Source model, like Source engine really. So I've been learning that. Finally got a model in there. I just need to texture it. and then I can start working from there. But yeah, that's been pretty much my entire day has been doing that. It's ridiculously challenging. I've done stuff with game engines before, and I've even messed around with the Source engine before with Hammer, but that mostly has been map BSPs. It hasn't been like static props. And what else? I also have used the Halo engine, Blam engine, and Cry engine, and Unreal engine. But Source engine's a little bit of a tricky one. It requires a lot of text files to compile and turn things into actual things. Basically, that's a correct sentence. Why didn't they stop? Oh, is this a ladder? Where's there a ladder? The game's like, dude, you're supposed to be using a ladder. Where is... Oh. Well, I'm very perceptive. Very perceptive. Go! Kill him! Run away! There we go.
No time to be afraid of heights. Jump on the catapult.
I like that we're literally just jumping straight into another Ratchet Clank game as well, because I had so much fun with the first one that I'm very excited about this. And we're already leveling this up to level 4. This must be a very short game if they're starting everything at such high level. It feels somewhat like an expansion to the first game. The UI and the menus are all the same. The graphics almost seem identical. There seems to be maybe a few new effects or something. If anything else, I can't tell. Ratchet seems to be the same character model, although he does have some new armor. And the game's fidelity seems a tiny little bit better, but I still think it's running at 720p, which I'm upscaling for the stream. I mean, I'd like to shoot this guy. I don't have Clank, so I can't do any of my cool abilities, so I imagine platforming is either going to be limited or difficult. I mean, I'd like to shoot this guy. What else do I have? Oh, we do have the Shock Ravager. It's weird that it's blue because I'm so used to seeing it being red. Predator Launcher. That's what we can use. Still a fairly new weapon to me. I didn't start using it until the end. We're gonna blast through the door? What? Okay. Well, I guess I can just stay on the turret and do this. Well, that's not working very well. Oh, now they come to the door. I used a fancy weapon. Look. Woo! Woo! See? Fancy weapon used. I got your back, Talwyn. And what else are we doing? Can we shoot these doors? Boom. I blew all of them up. I didn't know which way we were going. Okay, and guess we'll go back to the launcher again. Those gone. I can't do my boost anymore. One of my favorite moves was double tapping R2. I hope those come back in the third game. Although I don't know if you get Clank back in the third game either. That could very much be a journey of maybe getting Clank back, because this seems to be a side story where we're trying to look for like a way to find Clank, but we don't know where he is yet. So maybe the third game is about finding him, and then the fourth, which is Into the Nexus, which I'm not sure how it connects. I know it's a part, like it's a continuation of this story. It's the last part of this story, but I think it's its own thing. Like I don't think it's connected to the whole Sony Clank mystery. I think it's its own standalone story after the events of Crack in Time, which again I've heard is just an incredible game. Well, that's what I did. Wait, I just catapulted into a cannon?
Get your paws off me.
Uh-oh.
Alright, lads. To the stones cast to Morrow Caverns, and the pythons must be hungry.
Avast, ye scurvy swine!
Sweet eye of a Sony! It's Slag! Scourge of Polaris! Slayer of Darkwater himself!
Righto! And I hereby banish this lumbax to Hulafar Island, where he will get exactly what he's looking for.
Aye, Captain. You heard him, lads. To Hulafar in 1, 2...
I'm gonna hope that Pete is sending us to this Lullafar Island place, because he said you'll find exactly what you want. I hope that's what this actually the destination. He's been nice to us.
And so, the Lombax discovered the little-known pirate party foul 21-13, which states, never interrupt a band of grogged-up space pirates simply because you lost your robotic mate and seek the assistance of a dead captain.
I guess not.
Skip to the part about the curse.
Whoa! Spoiler alert! We haven't even gotten to Hulafar Island.
Oh, all right.
I guess not. I was being too optimistic. Wow, this looks like totally different from any of the other levels in the game, though.
Ratchet, are
What?
you all right?
Clank? Clank, is that you? Clank!
We saw Clank! I did not imagine we'd see Clank in this little game.
Are you okay?
Hey, Alex.
You swallowed water.
We're
Please.
doing Quest for
It'll
Booty
take
now.
More than a few space pirates to stop me. Come on, let's check out the island.
Look how pretty it is. I like tropical settings in games. Probably because I'll never go to a tropical setting in my life. Although, technically I've been to Orlando. I said technically. I've been to Orlando, but is really that tropical? I was thinking more like Bahamas as tropical. And I didn't really see a beach when I was in Orlando. It was for work.
My booster pack can only carry one. Do your grab boots still work?
Right, we've got some grab booting to do. Oh, is that a new sound for the grab boots? Sounded like a new sound, or just a sound I've not heard before. We're slowly leveling up again. So we get nuts and bolts in this game again, but it doesn't look like we can buy weapons. So maybe we can buy devices.
Darkwater's dead, and there are no Zoni on Rusty Pete tricked us.
Hey, he sent us here for a reason. There has to be some kind of connection.
And I finished Infamous 1 yesterday, Alex, so we'll be starting Infamous 2 on Friday. Which is cool. I forgot how good the ending of that game was.
Hey, maybe you can use your wrench's kinetic.
Wait, what? How does that work? That's totally new. That's new. That was not in the game before. That's a brand new feature.
This one.
Oh, I like it. That's really cool. That must be something that returns for the third game, because it's very much a thing that you'd usually need Clank to do. That's really cool. Hulafar Island. Hulafar.
Hey there, young fella. Welcome to
This dude's
Hulafar
face.
Island. My name's Barnabas Worley. Mayor
It looks like a
Barnabas
purple
Worley,
blanket
size.
formed a face.
What brings you here?
I got shot out of a cannon.
Cannon? Must have been messing around with those pirates. Well, any enemy of Sprocket and his gang is a friend of the island.
We're trying to contact a friend of ours, but I can't seem to catch a signal. I don't suppose you have a radio tower we could use.
Sorry, miss. We had a supply beacon, but someone vandalized it last night. But if you help us repair it, I'm sure you'd be able to contact your friend. Really? Well, that is good news. Just climb to the top of each wind turbine and give the old boat crank a turn.
Check out the wind turbines.
Okay.
I'll head to higher ground. If
Don't
I
know
can
where they
find
are,
it,
but I'm
I'll
going to
reach out
explore.
and repeat what we're supposed to be looking for.
What are these people? They're like fish towels. I don't know why they look like towels to me. They just do. I'm gonna call them the towel people. Wait, aquatic towels. Oh my god, what an amazing race. A race of aquatic towel people that also look a little bit like mice. What is wrong with me?
Oh, dagnabbit. This is the third time this
That voice is not what I expected.
turbines have stopped working.
Can you hear the
Sabotage, I tell you.
actual
Someone has been
game
messing
a
with
lot?
my
And
equipment.
let me check the stream. Aquatic towel people that also look a little bit like mice. That's me. I'm just trying to check the voice. That voice is not what I mean, you can hear the game. I'm a little loud, but I think it's fine. You can hear the game enough if I'm quiet. There we go. Got chat back. Anyway, what seems to be the problem? Sabotage. Do you know anything about? Okay, what seems to be the problem?
Problem is, these here wind turbines are about the only thing keeping the juice flowing through the island. No juice, no beacon. No beacon, no supplies. You follow? Anyways, my brother-in-law was supposed to come back and help repair these turbines, but he probably went fishing instead. Think you could help a feller out. I'd do it myself, but I don't much care for heights.
Sure, I'll help.
Oh, I'd sure appreciate
Didn't we already
it,
just tell
stranger.
the other guy would help?
Couple of good turns on that bolt crank up there ought to get her going again. Good luck. Darkwater. Sorry,
Okay.
stranger.
Let's go. Let's move. We got platforming to do, which I don't know how we're going to do without Clank. But hey, this will be interesting. I was so bad in the last section where you do... Well, there's a section near the end of the first game where you don't have Clank, and I was awful at it. Like right now. Oh, that was a good save. Oh! Like from Ren and Stimpy. That's a deep cut. That is a deep, deep cut. I can't quite say I remember what Stimpy looks like off the top of my head. Like, I don't have an image in my head of what Stimpy looks like. But I will take your word for it. That purple dude looks just like Stimpy. We'll say that. No move! I'm gonna get knocked off. Oh, that was close. Okay, we'll wait for the steam. What? Why is this a wind turbine that's like emitting steam? That's the real question I have. These are the important questions I raise in Ratchet and Clank's world. In the Polaris galaxy. Here we go. Hope this is a cool looking wind turbine. Oh yeah. I approve. Wind turbines are one of my favorite things. I love wind turbines. As like an environmental feature. I probably wouldn't like to live near them, and I know people complain about that. Oh, it teleported us down. Thanks.
Thanks, stranger. 4 more wind turbines and we'll be back in business.
We just got to do that 4 times? Great. Supposedly we have a map. We do have a map. Well, this is nice. This seems like a nice, quiet, simple Ratchet and Clank game. No big grand adventure, just a little island to explore. Some wind turbines to fix. Oh god, what are they? What are they? There we go. No panic. And you know, we'll just have fun on this nice tropical island and not think about that our robot friend. We need something explosive? Wait, I don't have any of my items. Oh, good. The game starts you off with a bunch of items at level 3 and then just takes them away from you. And I guess these are the cannons that aren't working yet. Yep. So we can't get there yet, but that's one turbine there and there's another turbine there. Do you know what? I've never played Jack 2 or 3, but I've played the very start of the first Jack, which is called the Precursor Legacy or something, I think. And I liked it, but I just never went back to it. I didn't get very far. So, the answer to that question is hopefully. I would like to. I think I would enjoy Jak and Daxter. Each game's a little bit different genre-wise as well, right? From what I've heard. It's like they're not all just puzzle, platformer, action games. They're all... Oh, good. They're all slightly different. That was the worst fall of all time, by the way. Where even am I? Oh, it's so confusing when you don't know a place and you respawn. Okay, go. 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 Right. Rip some more boxes. I did get shot out of a cannon. That is true. I like this magnetic wrench thing. It's a really cool mechanic. Go. Go, quick. Quick. What am I doing? What was that? I don't know what even just happened. So much happened in the space of like 5 frames of animation. Alright, there we go. Wow, it's like fully controllable. That's crazy to me. I didn't realize this game like had such complex mechanics in it. I like it. What a, that is such a cool mechanic. I wonder why they didn't have that in the first game. Because the wrench seems pretty pointless in the first game, other than for turning those bolt things. This actually makes it seem like the wrench has way more use. I've heard that one of the Jak and Daxter games, by the way, is like an open world game where you're like in the desert collecting like ragtag style. I don't know if that's true, but it's crazy that like a game series that I thought was just all about like platforming, like a Spyro or Ratchet Clank, actually has a lot of variance to it. Like supposedly there's like a section where like you're driving like vehicles and stuff as well, which is crazy to me. You don't really think about it. But I suppose like the rail sections in this game, or the spaceship sections, well, in Tools of Destruction are a bit like that. But yeah, totally. Jak and Daxter, interesting. So do I not go this way? Why can't I go this way? Where is the actual entrance point to this then? Because to me, it would seem that that is the entrance point right there. Oh, good. But I have no idea how I would get up there. Yeah, I definitely can't make that jump. Yeah, definitely not. I thought I would try. Well, I guess we're not going to go that way. Guess we have to do maybe some of the other wind turbines first. I'd also quite like to get over there, but I don't see how I would do it with my current... Oh no! Setup is what I was going to say. I've died about 3 times in about the space of about 4 seconds of gameplay. So much for being good after finishing Ratchet Clank Tools for Destruction. Because clearly not doing too great. What's this? Nothing. Okay. It's very open-ended, this. Way more open-ended than previous sections of the Tools of Destruction game. I'm just going to call it the previous Ratchet game, rather than saying the full name of the game. Okay. By far my favorite new mechanic. I think it is the only new mechanic, but it's so good, it's better than most other mechanics this game has. Pick up objects. Oh my god, that's a great mechanic as well. That's fantastic. Oh, I placed it down. I assume this will just take us to this little island back here. Oh! Oh! That was dangerous of me. Nothing else here. I keep wanting to double tap R2 to do the dash. It's about the 3rd time I've tried to do it. I got so used to using it in the previous game that I've just forgot that it doesn't exist anymore. I'm assuming you can take that lava to some of the other doors too, but I'll wait. Oh, this is interesting. Full 3D platform moving. Well, X and Y axis, no Z axis. Or X and Z axis, no Y axis. Depends how you think about 3D space. Do you think of up and side to side? Like, do you think depth as in this way, like away from the camera as Z, up being Y, and then left and right being X? Or do you think of it as Z, B, or Z being up and down, and then X and Y being all the cardinal directions this way? You can think of it either way, in my opinion. And weirdly, I just died. I am so bad at jumping. Weirdly, some 3D programs do it both ways. I've seen some have Z as the vertical axis and some have Y as the vertical axis. It's very odd that they're different. And I'm not entirely sure what the correct answer is. It might be different depending on camera use or 3D space use. For example, I think 3ds Max up and down is always the Z axis or Z axis, while I've seen some game engines use the other way, so Y is the up and down. Yeah, it works both ways. Like, say if you're drawing a graph. This is going to get real nerdy real quick. So, you're drawing a graph. Oh, God. Does someone want to tell me why I'm so bad at this game? So, if you're drawing a graph, you're going to draw the y-axis as your vertical axis, and then the x-axis is obviously the lower axis. But if you then draw that graph in 3D space, the z-axis would become depth on that. So, say if you're plotting a graph in 3D space to show, like I don't know, a volume of points that need that third axis of data, then you would do that. But it is weird that I've seen it both ways, where the widget, I suppose you'd call it, the handle that you use to manipulate things and move things up and down, is sometimes Z is that up and down axis, and X and Y are just the lateral, like left, right, forward and backwards. But like I said, I've seen it the other way too, where Y is the up and down and Z becomes backwards and forwards. And I'd love to know why that is, and I'm not sure why. Like, I can't quite think in my head why they would do it. I really can't. I'm now trying to think really hard to think why they would do it, and I can't think. I'll speak to someone from some place and find out. I don't know anyone who would actually know the answer. But like I imagine some sort of like 3D dude would know. I don't know what a 3D dude is. But
Strange happening on this island. I'm here with some of the villagers and, well, they're talking about a curse.
A curse? Come on, Tal. There's no such thing.
I'm sure it's nothing. I'll do some more digging and get back to you.
I can't believe I nearly died just climbing a tower then. So while this is doing, I'm going to Google why your axis is different. Why is the Z-axis sometimes vertical and sometimes depth? Right, that was a terrible Google, but I did it. Yeah, I understand. Applicate. Yes, I'm aware that the Z coordinates are sometimes called the applicate, but I'm trying to find. Oh, really interesting. Z up versus Y up. Here we go. So an interesting. This is in the Unreal forums. Made an inquiry into Z up nature of Unreal Engine. So the Unreal Engine uses the Z axis as the vertical axis, and then X and Y are the kind of the 2D plane, which I think is also how After Effects uses 3D as well. You've got X and Y being your lateral, your up and down on the screen. Oh no, because the third position is depth in After Effects. So you have 0 for X, 1 for Y, and then Z is 2, which is depth. So yeah, it's Y up in After Effects. Oh, okay. Yeah, ready for some nerdy talk, everybody. We're playing a video game. This is known as Z up or Y up. I think in this game it would be known as Y up. So this, where I'm going, the direction I'm traveling right now, would be the depth. It's away from the camera. That's the Z axis. This is the Y axis, and this is the X axis. Right. Released in 1990, 3ds Max was primarily used for architecture. In architecture, you usually start with a ground floor plan plotted on 2D grid. That's X and Y. And when it comes to extruding that in 3D, you'd use the next dimension to be Z or Z. That fellow devs is apparently why Z is up in 3ds Max. Makes perfect sense. And then in 1998, Maya was released as animation. And in Maya, you start working in X and Y, and your new dimension Z becomes depth. That's why in Maya, Y is up. So that's what the difference is. We actually have names for them now. Z up and Y up. Some engines, game engines, use Y up. Some engines use Z up. For example, it looks like Unreal uses Z up. Yeah, 3ds Max was a modeling package of choice for most developers at the time, which is why the Unreal Engine uses Z up. Some other game engines use Y up, like Maya, which uses that. There we go. That's a nerdy little talk. And it's funny. But yeah, I'm a big 3ds Max user, which is probably why, and I've used Unreal Engine a lot, so that's probably why I'm so used to having Z up. But then After Effects is definitely Y up, which I think it probably threw me off when I first started using After Effects then, because I've been using 3D for so long. Oh god, I'm nearly dead. What sort of CAD programs? Oh, SolidWorks. Yeah, yeah. See, I'm much more about like architecture and I've done some organics, I suppose. The thing is, I've used Maya as well, which is Y up, which is much more like the CAD programs you're talking about, and I think it's probably more modern. Now, I'm putting modern in quotes here. I'm doing the quotes with one of my hands, like the air quotes. I think Maya being the more modern thing, it was released 8 years after 3ds Max, adapted the Y-up principles because of animation. And animation, you would obviously think of the ground as the X and Y plane, No, sorry, you think of the ground as the floor and depth plane, which would be X and Z, and then you'd have Y as your up and down. Oh, you can change it to Z up in settings. Interesting. That makes sense, though, that they would let you have that option. Because obviously some people will just be more used to it. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, it's always the third thing in my head. Like, I never think about depth until I've got the pose or the position or the strike or the everything I do first is always in the flat plane. So if I'm designing something, I'll design it in the flat plane and then I'll work on it in the Z plane. For example, I was modeling a observation window for a spaceship today. More on that another time. And I got my shape fine in one of the side viewports, and then I went in and I manipulated the depth on it. And that's usually how I work with things. When I was younger, I would actually work from a vertices standpoint, so I would only look at vertices while modeling. I'm not as annoying as that anymore, because that is a very annoying thing to do. I'm much more about the shape and the form now, rather than just creating something. But I used to build a lot more landscapes when I was younger. Specifically in games which used around 12,000 polygons. 12 to 20,000 is around the range I was modeling when I was younger. Which is an extremely low amount for a full landscape terrain. Like, these days, for landscapes, you're looking at... Like, even this game has way more polygons than that. Yeah, the Z-axis is usually blue, 100%, and Y is green, yeah. And red for X, yeah. 100%. So we've done 4 out of 5. There's just that one near the beginning that I couldn't find. Oh, look at this little area. We could have gone this way, I guess. The only reason I'm thinking about this is because I'm doing so much with Source Filmmaker at the moment. Although I can't remember, I think Z is up in that? Although I can't really remember. I don't really pay attention. I just move shit around. Oh my god, Smuggler is here.
Well, look who's here. Small galaxy, ain't it?
Oh, too small. Oh.
So, what brings you to Murdergraw, friend?
Murdergraw. Vacation.
Well, what are the odds? I'm here for a little relaxation myself.
Laying low.
Well, if you need anything, you give me a holler. I just might have something useful for you. Know what I mean?
Okay, what do you have that's useful?
Can't you see I'm off the clock?
Okay, nothing. Cool. Could do with some health. So do we have all of these wind turbines now? I love how blue the water is. Look at that. It's like unrealistically blue, but I love it. So I think there's just one turbine I haven't been able to get to yet. I don't know if it's this one that I'm looking at or not. Clearly I can't talk to Talwyn. Okay. You?
Lousy, low-down, good-for-nothing vandals. When's that man gonna crack down on these bumps?
The voice acting is great.
Some wise guy uncoupled the flippin' energy conductor from the supply beacon. How am I supposed to fix it?
Good use of the word flippin' there.
Guess I'll just have to take lunch.
Anything I can do to help?
Appreciate the offer, kid, but we can't do nothing till the power's restored. Lucky for me, I'm in the Union.
I'm in the Union! Oh, man. So, I'm trying to figure out how to get over to there. See that wind turbine Epsilon? That's where I want to get to. But I'm not sure how. Now, I'm going to be daring and go across here again with 1 health. Like that bird could just breathe near me and I'd die. So what I want to do is I want to get over onto this grind rail, but... Oh, maybe I can... Oh, I'm such an idiot. I can just do this. See, that's a mechanic I wouldn't have thought about previously. Right, and that takes me across here. So I guess I'm going to have to bring one of those volcanic rocks all the way here. Oh, God. Oh, I leveled up. Sweet. Got all my health. Oh, no, there's a volcanic rock here. I was literally going to bring it all the way. go. And I'm meant to throw this over here somehow. There we go. Look at the flapping cloth things. They're, wait for it. Yeah, they're definitely keyframed. They're not natural. They're not like cloth in new games. It's keyframed cloth animation. How can you tell? Variances within the animation. The variance is like my favorite word today. Variety. Let's go with just the same word but in a different way. Variety within an animation, such as the physics engine creating something different. So in a game that uses cloth, when you move, if it's keyframed, you'll see the cloth moving in the same way. So if someone does an attack, a lot of attack animations in older games, if your character has cloth on them, will not be physics-based. So to begin with, you'll see things like just the cloth doing the same thing. It's because rendering a piece of a character with cloth on it and having physics react to it takes a lot of CPU. So you can see it way more regularly now that physics-based in games like Assassin's Creed, for example, like the cloth and the cloak is all physics-based. Quite obviously is what you can tell. Because like you can do a different attack, or the same attack, and the cloth will flow differently. But if you look at even older games, PS2 era games are a really good example of it. You'll see that the cloth is doing the same thing on every single attack, or the cloth will have no animation. And a good example of that is the Zelda games. So if you look at games like, go back to the Ocarina of Time games and Majora's Mask, that's what I meant, on N64, the cloth on that won't have any kind of movement. But then if you move forward to Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, you'll see the hat will have a lot of movement. And now I'm not entirely sure, but I would put probably like a pound, like one British pound on. I think they would be keyframed, not physics-based. Same with Skyward Sword. I don't know if that would be physics-based or not. By that point, it may have been, but I don't know if the Wii would have been powerful enough to do that. But there's a lot of physics-based stuff in... Oh, good! In Breath of the Wild. As we're on the topic of Zelda games. That has a lot of really good different physics-based things in general. Like, there's so much to do in that game with physics. There's banners in that game that flap naturally in the wind and stuff like that. And you can what's called or I forgot. It's like rendering an animation basically. It's where you I can't remember the name of it. That's really annoying. It's where you kind of like use a program like 3ds Max or Maya. You set up like a physics system, so wind, and then you set bones within a cloth, and then you set the wind going, and then it flaps in the wind, and then you can basically save that animation as keyframes and then render that out. And that looks kind of like what they've done with the flapping of the wind here, because it looks very... they found a loop point basically and looped the flapping, which is a really cool technique to save a lot of time, because all you're doing is rendering keyframes rather than spending a lot of time doing that. Because if you look at like this, you see how those blades fall out? That's just a really simple keyframe animation. I'm such a nerd. I like animation far too much. There's also a really interesting thing in animation that I like a lot, which is twos. So, for example, twos doesn't really work too well in games. If you were playing at 60 FPS and the animation was at 30, you're almost getting the effect of twos. And what I mean by twos is it means that every frame of animation happens for 2 frames. And that's why if you've got a 30 FPS animation playing at 60 FPS, you pretty much get that effect because they're doubling up the frames. And that's actually something that happens. I don't know if it happens in Halo 5 anymore. I think it does. So I don't know if it was all or if it was just background animation, but I know it definitely happened in Halo 4. they had all of the character animations happening at 30, but the game was running at 60, so it would feel really unrealistic to see some of the Covenant moving around. There's a really good video about it on YouTube, kind of showing the comparison, and a lot of games now, everything will either be at 30 or fully at 60, but mixing the two together gets this really surreal effect. But going back to the idea of twos comes from a way older technique, like within drawn animation, where they would basically keep the cell the same for 2 frames and then draw a new cell. And it would save a lot of time on animation because you wouldn't have to draw a new piece of animation for every frame. I'm going to check the beach? Which beach? So what that would mean is, say if you were drawing like Mickey Mouse or something and you wanted Mickey Mouse to crouch or run forward, you would duplicate or even just photocopy the same same frame, I guess, same cell, and then you could maybe even move the background each frame but keep the animation on that too. So that's called that's where you mix the 2 different types of animation frame rates together. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. I kind of got onto it, and then now there's no reference to it because this game's all at 30, I think.
What can I do for you?
Pretty sure this game runs at 30. I'm in the market for a Versable.
Well, what do you know? I happen to have one right here, procured by perfectly legal means, of course.
With a crowbar!
How about we make ourselves a deal?
Buy the machine part for 10,000 bolts.
Here you go. I'll see you.
I have way more than that anyway. Cha-ching. Well, this has been a very nerdy live stream. All I've done is been talking about some of like the most nerdy things about animation and 3D axes and such. But hey, that's how my brain works. And it was fun being around like-minded people when I was at university, even though that was for a short period of time. It was just fun to talk about this sort of stuff with people and talk to other people who understood this stuff, because where I came from, there was no one else who did 3D stuff really. I was kind of in my own little world, and the internet was big when I went to uni, and I had some conversations with people, but it's totally different when you're in person talking to someone.
Hey, you found one. Nice going, kid. Local Beacon Union 319 thanks you for your charitable contribution.
So
here we go. Just put this on here.
I feel like I could. What would be really cool is, you know, like people have like groups they go to, not like the AA or something. I mean more like hobby groups where people would go, like youth clubs for kids but for grown-ups. What are they called? They're called friend gatherings, Matt. When you have friends. I'm talking more about like what I would like is just to have like weekly conversations with people who know what they're talking about in 3D stuff, because my mind is like works in a very 3-dimensional way, and being able to talk to people about 3D stuff is just a really cool thing. Oh god. Oh god. What do I do here? So stepping on any of these kills me, nearly. So I have to go this way. You can jump it. I can't jump that though. How do I do? What do I do here? Game. Oh. Ah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Can't believe we're so close to The Last Jedi. I literally told that to my postman today. I was that excited I told it to my postman at the door. I was like, I hope it doesn't snow again. He's like, well, it's going to snow this weekend. I was like, well, as long as it doesn't snow next week for Star Wars. And he's like, oh, Star Wars is good now. The only human interaction I've had in weeks. So my mind was very excited to talk to someone. But yes, it's December in England, so we've got a lot of Got a lot of snow. And it's like, it's dark. Like, I didn't even realize today that it was 4 o'clock because it was so dark, and like I was just so focused on working on the scene I was working on that it got to 4 o'clock, and I was gonna go. I was like, I should probably go downstairs and do something. And then I realized it was 4 o'clock, and I was like, really? Since when was it 4 o'clock? And since when was it pitch black outside? Okay. This is a very interesting puzzle I'm doing right now. I mean, it's very tricky because I have to think ahead about everything I do here. Oh, I can just go forward here. That wasn't that tricky. I thought that was going to get way more complicated. Look at them mountains. Those PS3 era mountains. They look pretty good. Now that is some nice animation. I like things that are like compact and then they expand. Holofoids.
And I'll show you our greatest secret.
Your greatest secret is a round door? Or is it your golden sash you're wearing, like a mare? New ability? Or maybe this is going to be our where to talk to the Zony in Clank. Maybe we've just finished the entire game in 53 minutes. I mean, I heard the game was quick, but... Or short, I should say.
Young Lummox, I give you the Obsidian Eye. The most powerful Laurentian telescope in the universe. It was created with lenses carved from obsidian glass and powered by a single photon.
Where did you find them? On Dragonstone?
Darkwater
Did Daenerys help you get that obsidian?
contact with his little friends.
Can it tell me where they are?
Well, sure, if we have a Fulcrum Star to activate it. Here, I took the liberty of borrowing this from our archives. They're pages from Darkwater's personal journal.
Dude's face still scares me.
Captain's log, the 3rd of August. My trip to the Breaker's star cluster was fraught with stirrings. Not only did I find a great place for cheap Krull cobbler, but I also met a mysterious race called the Zuni.
Zuni?
Friendly little creatures they are, can manipulate time and space to their will. Their leader gave me a fulcrum star I can use to talk to him with once I return to Polaris. It's worth a fortune, but I wouldn't part with it for all the bolts in Meridian City. The only worry is me miserable first mate Slag. It's only a matter of moons before he tries to pillage me property.
I think Slag took his Fulcrum Star?
To defend it well into the afterlife, using an ancient arachnoid incantation, and a coupon for 1 free curse at the Hulafar Magic Emporium. I'll forever bind me soul to me body, so that I may protect the Fulcrum Star. He who disturbs me shall disturb my entire crew.
Oh, I guess if we're going to get the Fulcrum Star, he's going to reawaken as well. He'll be the boss then.
That star ought to be locked away with the rest of Darkwater's treasure. Find that star, and you'll find your friend.
Okay.
Ratchet, I think I'm getting a signal.
Rusty Pete to Lumbax. I have crucial information about Captain Darkwater. I'm dropping anchor at the Hulafar Pier. Over and out.
See, it does seem like Pete sent us here because he knew this Obsidian Eye thing was here. This telescope, which we can find the Zony in result of that find Clank. So I feel like even though he did get us fired here in a cannon, he did it in a nice way. It's
Well,
Pete.
it's about time, mate. I've been radioing you all night. So have you found the Obsidian Eye yet?
Yeah, but it doesn't work. Darkwater hid the Fulcrum Star.
Not surprising. Cheap old Beanrake never did trust anyone. Of course, we were trying to kill him at the time. Good news is, every pirate worth their salt keeps a map to their buried treasure.
A map? Well, where is it?
Well, that's the bad news. It's probably still with his body over in Morrow Caverns. Tell you what, mate. Why don't you let me help you find it?
Okay. I do trust him.
What? Can a pirate who's never told the truth in his life go blatantly out of his way to help the
Maybe I
Lumberjacks
shouldn't
kill
trust
his
him.
best friend and captain?
We're in.
Great! And I have just the pirate to help us. Ta-da! I call it slag on a stick.
Okay, slag on a stick. I read it in the subtitles, which is what made me laugh.
So it remember anything he's looking
Slag on a stick.
at. Fly aboard, matey.
It just reminds me of
Put your
Borderlands
faith
or
in God,
something.
slag.
Oh man, slag on a stick is good. That's some good writing.
And so, our hero set forth to Morrow Caverns in search of a map to the mythical Fulcrum Star.
Bye bye tropical
With him
setting.
was Rusty Pete, a noble and true corsair, adored by women across the galaxy.
This be a work of fiction.
Do you even know where we're going?
Of course I do. I got GPS. Look.
Turn right at Isle of Despair. In 5 leagues, keep left.
I love this thing. Hanukkah gift from me mom it was.
Hanukkah gift.
Arriving at destination on right.
Here we are.
Make a U-turn.
Morrow Caverns, famous for its majestic fjords, soothing grottos.
Fjords is an interesting word.
souls awaiting their chance for revenge.
What?
What? I didn't say nothing.
I still don't understand why we need slag to find Darkwater. Didn't you help him hide the ship?
I've got to say, this very simple turbulent noise smirk going on right now is very PS3.
Watch your tails.
Takes me back, just seeing that very simple. Literally, you can generate turbulent noise like that in about 4 seconds. It's a very easy thing. They probably didn't even create that as textures. Can you still see it from here? Yeah, so this kind of smoke over here, see how it's slightly moving? That's literally just a turbulent noise plane multiplied a few times to give the example of depth, or the, you know, suggestion of depth. And then they're just moving the phase around on the noise slider. Like, I can literally see how they've made this. It's a very, very simple thing. But again, that's before we got things like volumetric smoke, which is a very big thing in games now. And I don't really understand volumetrics very well. They confuse me. But they're very, very cool. I like them when they do volumetric clouds. They're some of my favorite. Like clouds that are actually moving and have depth and 3D to them. This is really a nerdy stream. Right? I didn't see the initial crash, I just heard it.
Integrity.
I'll win.
Ratchet, I'll try to find a way out of here. Just promise we'll leave this place together, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Ratchet.
What is this? Why does he seem alive? Why was he just singing the Kissing in a Tree song?
This path is so dangerous, so forbidden, that only a recitation of the fabled Song of the Dead shall open the way.
Okay.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is me handle, here is me spout.
Jesus Christ! I'm a little teapot, short and spout. This is my high voice. This is below. Oh man.
Ah, yes, me old crew. Should have joined in on the mutiny, eh, fellas?
So this is where he's buried, I guess, Darkwater? Oh, we got lava pits.
I used to go to the pub with that one. Total lightweight.
You used to go to the pub with this dude, did you? This guy?
You have to look for another.
Can I not just do this? I guess not. Again, really cool setting. I like kind of the green-blue atmosphere. What is happening? What is happening?
I'd do it myself if I hadn't suffered an unfortunate jig dancing
I don't want to talk about that. I thought maybe I could climb up after shimmying across a little bit. What's the other way? Well, I guess we're not going to find out. So I just have to... Oh my god, there's like a giant shadow. This is some slow-ass shimmying right now. Oh, look at these little guys. Oh my god. Well, I've found my new favorite anything. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my god. His name is Jerry. Hi, Jerry. Your eyes are very large, Jerry. You want to go on an adventure, Jerry? Let's go. Matt and Jerry doing our thing. We are best friends in the cabins. Oh, I'm gonna have to put you down, Jerry. Jerry, you just sit in this pool of water. There you go, Jerry. I'll be back. I'm just lowering the bridge, Jerry. Jerry, don't worry about it. I'm just lowering the bridge. Jerry, there we go. Hey, Jerry. How's it going? I know it's scary, Jerry, but don't worry about it. You just stay here. I may have... Jerry, you can come with. No! Jerry! Jerry, you have to come with me. I can't leave you here, Jerry. This is... How do we... No, Jerry! Jerry! He screamed on his way down. I just murdered Jerry. Well, that was the shortest love story of all time. Unless you turned on Twilight for 1 second, then that was also a very short love story. Apologies to your DVD player if you did such a thing. Oh, God! Jerry! Jerry! Did you respawn? Jerry, you respawned! Oh, good. Wait, you're not Jerry. You're female. You're Jerryette. Okay, Jerryette. You sit near the bridge this time, Jerryette. Here you go. I don't know what happened to Jerry. Nope. No, he didn't come with me. That was a different Lombax. Yep, not me at all. So I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that'll scare him away. Can I throw her across? Oh my god, she survived. Just stay over there, Jerryette. I'm coming. I'm shimmying. Just wait. I'm coming. I'm here. Reunited at last. Right. We're gonna try this. Ready? Hold on, okay? Alright. Let's try again. Right, Jerry, you're gonna spin. Oh! Nothing happened. I didn't just kill another one. It's a good shanty. Good shanty.
We knew you'd make it, didn't we, Cap? Thanks, mate. And now for the secret password.
What is the secret password?
Snickerdoodles.
Butterscotch snickerdoodles. Oh, thank you.
All right, mate. Darkwater's ship should be real close.
Darkwater. I fought in many. Was the fiercest battle in pirates in history.
Okay.
Still going with the shadow puppet thing?
Yes, about that. I may have been fibbing.
Oh, hello. You're a big fella. What's your name? Bob. That's not very creative. Okay, Bob. A what? Hey, Bob, there's a giant monster right there. What would happen if I threw you at him? You would bounce off him. Of course you would. I'm not quite sure what to do. I don't really have any weapons to kind of attack him with. I mean, that's a giant sword I could use, but no. Oh, that's fire. Little fellas, I killed Bob. What's your name? Tiny, right. These names are getting very uncreative very quickly. Hold on, Tiny. Jerry was the best. I mean, Tiny, you're not that tiny.
Whoa. There she is. Right where we left her.
And you're sure Darkwater's holding the map to the Fulcrum Star?
Of course I am. Kinda wish I'd known at the time. That star would have bought a lot of grog. But a deal's a deal.
Okay. Darkwater's tomb.
I should take you along the forgotten shipping rails.
Guess this is the way back.
Me get exactly what's coming to you.
Another one? Uh-oh. Maybe it's the same one. I don't know. About here. And then about here. Oh! That was not my fault. He shot me with fire. I'm gonna try speeding up now. This is the speed that needs, for the speed of need speed. There we go. See that? That was some speed. Gotta go fast, like Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey, look! It's these guys again. What's your name? Bugger. Wait, like buggy or like bugger? The word bugger. No, yeah, just the word bugger. Okay, bugger. Well, that's a kind of a mean name, but alright. Let's go, you little bugger. Hey, look, we can take him on the rail with us. And I think we're in the ship now. There's a lot of dead pirates in there. Oh, we're back out. Okay. We're back. We didn't get the really important thing we came here for. We just went through the ship for a little detour. Are we back in the ship? I don't know. There we go. Still holding on to little bugger here. Let's place him down here. Turn the crank. Did little oh, little bugger's gone. Poor guy. So can we not go in this door? Well, aren't these the doors that blow up with explosives? Oh, there's two of them. That's good news, isn't it? I like how moving that blocked one of the attacks. That's pretty cool. Oh, I think we're here.
Nice going, mate. Now, just extend the flank and we'll
I'm extending it. I'm starting to not trust you though. There's a hint of deceit in your voice. Is this him?
The fairest battle in pirating history. Right.
Why don't you stand right there, mate? I'll check for booby traps.
Booby traps? Isn't that a bit cliche?
Not at all, mate. After all, you're the boob, and here's the trap.
What? I'm the boob and he's the trap. Did he just resurrect?
Cheers for the help, mate. Couldn't have gotten through the cabins without you.
Uh-oh. We still have the map, right?
Sorry, old chum. What could I say? I'm a pirate. But here's a little something to show that there's no hard feelings.
Ahoy there, me hearty! This be Captain Slag, scourge of the galaxy, and...
Oh.
Dirty backstabber, no good, take a trade.
Darkwater.
So Darkwater's in there too.
Possessing me. This be my body now.
Watch your tongue, you made old body snatcher, or I'll carve out your teeth.
His Pete's face.
Tough talk for a wee little phantasm.
Oh, I'm a phantasm on account of you sticking this blade in me back, you miserable cheat.
All right, enough. I think you two could do as a good pillaging. Set course for Holafar, our island.
We got the combustor back. And I think we also got fusion grenades. We did. Good. 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 Oh. Oh. Ghost pirates that are trying to kill me. Any more? Okay, there's more. Are these never ending? Because I could just level up my weapons from these guys if they're never ending. Any more? Yeah. Seems to be never ending. Although there does seem to be more of them. But my weapon is about to level up. Any more? Oh. Here you go. Guess it wasn't never ending. What we'll do is we'll get out of this cavern and then that will be it for today. Because again, like I've heard, this game's only like 3 hours long. So I think we're about halfway through it. I don't want to do it all in one stream. So we will... Uh-oh. We will, yeah, get out of this cavern and then finish it next time.
Ratchet, what's happening? There's green smoke everywhere and... Pirates!
Yep, pirates. Hello. I'm about to... This weapon is about to level up. Although, there we go. Super upgrade? Super upgrade. Look at that. I've missed you, whatever you were called. Magma combustor. First fully upgraded weapon in the game already. Right, let's throw some fusion grenades. We can get these upgraded. Right, let's go. Back up. We got the one thing we needed, which was the map. Wow, this is dark in here. Ratchet can use his weapons to destroy the Pyro thing. Okay. Or is he a Pokemon? Pyro is a Pokemon. Well, I didn't destroy it. Is it coming back? I guess not. I think this is the room where we first entered. And upgrading the grenades. Maybe they should have changed the timing on how long these take to upgrade, because this is pretty easy. Wait, where's Talwyn? Isn't she in this room? No, I don't think it's this room. I think it's the one before this room. I actually don't know where we are at all. Oh. This was the door Talwyn went down. I think I can hear her. Or maybe not. There we go. Hey, Talwyn.
Thanks, Ratchet. I knew you'd keep your promise.
I guess you can actually not save her there.
Come on! We gotta get back to the island before Slag does.
I mean, she's much faster. Uh-oh. Magma combustor, go! And there we go. Dunzo. Dunzo. That was really fun. It seems like a really cool little side story, like leading into Cracking Time.
So, in his effort to claim the Fulcrum Star, our hero was outwitted by the charming Rusty Pete, a loyal pirate whose only desire was to bring back his beloved Captain Slag.
Scourge of Polaris and winner of Zordoom Prison's semi-annual beauty pageant.
Of course, there were a few side effects. Hundreds of undead pirates were now free to roam the planet, and the captain now had to share a body with the pirate he killed long ago. But all in all, it was a great day.
And this is where we're going to call it. So next time we will continue back on Holofar Island here and hopefully find the Fulcrum Star to find out where the Zoni are and how to rescue Clank. Is there a save button? There is. Thank you all so much for watching. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with more Jet Set Radio. And then Friday with more... we'll be starting Infamous 2. And then on Saturday, we'll be back with more Ratchet and Clank Future Quest for Booty, which is likely the final part because we're only doing kind of 2 parts to this series. And then straight after this, we'll be jumping into Cracking Time. And I said 2 parts for this series because it's meant to be really quick. So anyway, thank you all for watching. And I'll be back next time with more Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty. Goodbye!